World is a 1997 musical comedy starring the Spice Girls, Alan Cumming, and George Wendt. It made a virtual crap ton of money on a $25 million budget, but just got slaughtered by the critics and nominated for 7 Razzies. It only received 1, so I guess that's saying something. If you'll indulge me for just a moment, I have to write a quick note. Dear Kate, thank you for loaning me Spice World. I'm interested to see what other treasures your DVD collection holds. Must really be something. All my best, Scott. All right, we'll just put this aside and never mail it. Where was I? Oh yeah, the Spice Girls. It is hard to understate how huge the Spice Girls were in 1996. Seemingly overnight, they were everywhere with songs on MTV and all over the radio. Their debut album, Spice, sold 1.8 million copies in 7 weeks. And that's just in the United Kingdom. Here in the States, it sold 5.3 million copies in 1997 alone. Worldwide, in its first 7 months of release, Spice was purchased more than 10 million times. And this was all at a time before iTunes was a thing. People had to go to stores and buy albums. 10 million of them, that's insane! So it was only a matter of time before someone said, you know what, these girls need a t-shirt. And then the merchandising train was leaving the station. They had a truly stupid amount of merch out there. Spice Girls watercolors? They would seriously slap their name on anything they could sell. So it was only a matter of time before someone muttered the phrase Spice Girls movie and Spice World was breathed into existence. It kind of makes sense. The girls had different brandings which appealed to a wide array of people. There seemed to be a girl for everyone. You might like the strength of Scary Spice or the playfulness of Ginger Spice. You might like the sportiness of Sporty Spice, or maybe you dreamed of the rich life, kind of like Posh Spice. Or maybe your favorite was Baby.
I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, the Spice Girls. Yeah, so they made a movie. So the movie begins with the girls performing on Top of the Pops. For my American friends, think of this show as American Bandstand, but British. So, British Bandstand. Whatever.
He just doesn't love us anymore.
Oh, yes, I do. I love you like a wildebeest loves 5 lionesses chewing at his legs.
That's the girls' manager. He has a plot point, eventually. We're then introduced to the first of several running storylines. Show me Alan Cumming.
I'm Pierce Cuthbertson Smythe, and today I'm spending the first of 5 days with the Spice Girl.
He's not. He's barely in their lives. He talks to them once, but he's at a great distance. But can we talk about that scene really quick? Let's say you're making a documentary. First off, there's a boom mic, big time. Second, you're in a shot. Can't you pick a better and better lit location? And this is not a one-off thing. Alan Cumming is making the worst music documentary of all time. At the end of the day, though, this storyline doesn't matter. It's just something the movie does. And it does a lot. If anything, this movie does things at an unprecedented pace for a DTMS movie. I'll put it this way. Spice World's ratio of and-thens to therefores is incredibly lopsided. Let me explain that. I once heard Trey Parker put it this way. A good storyteller has several and-thens that lead to a substantial therefore. For example, Ferris convinces Cameron to take his father's car out for the day, and then they go to Chicago for the day. They drop the car off with some sketchy guys, and then they go on a joyride. And then Cameron has a freak out while they try to fix the mileage that has been put on the car. And then the car falls off a drop. Therefore, Cameron has to have a chat with his father to work out their differences. The entire car storyline was leading to something. If a film has too many and-thens, it feels like a run-on sentence. It feels like an out-of-breath child. Spice World has all the narrative momentum of an out-of-breath child recounting a particularly vivid dream. And then we met Elton John, and we kissed him a lot, and then we walked down a hallway. And then we walked out to our adoring fans, one of which tries to take an upskirt shot.
Girls, it's Andy from the start. What's up the skirts? Thank you very much.
Then we got on our bus that's bigger on the inside, and then Mel and Victoria have that conversation that's in the trailer.
You know, Charles decides whether to wear the little Gucci dress, or the little Gucci dress.
I know. Why don't you wear the little Gucci dress?
That's a good idea.
Well, that joke landed with a thud. And then we had a pillow fight, and then we had a press conference, and then it leads to something, but this movie only feels like a movie for a fleeting, flawed second. More on that in a moment. But first, there's two more storylines to mention. These are two movie makers played by Mark McKinney and George Wendt. They are the meta part of the film.
These are the Spice Girls.
Yeah, I've seen them. Oh, I like the blonde one.
Me too.
No. Sporty.
Yeah, sporty one's good.
Wrong. We are introduced to the boss behind the girls. He's played by Roger freaking Moore, may he rest in peace. This is not his best work. I really don't know what his purpose in this film is, other than to speak in a cryptic babble that's funny, or it's supposed to be, I think.
Remember, the drummer who is without sticks has no backbeat.
Absolutely.
We're covered. Moving on. There's a lot of prop comedy in this episode.
I'm giving you everything, all that joy can bring. This I swear.
And then the girls arrive at a rehearsal hall and sing a couple songs. Cummings' Doc crew has a terrible shot location. A keyboard player messes up because he's so dumb.
We'll be there.
Hold on, what's going on?
Sorry.
What are you doing?
Sorry, my fault.
What have you done, left your boxing gloves on?
Okay, let's do it once again, please. That was absolutely perfect.
That's Jules freaking Holland. He's done so much great work in the music industry. This is not his best choice. And then their pregnant friend shows up.
It caked! When's it due?
Last week.
You want to start charging it storage?
I wanna feel what love is.
How's Trevor?
He's gone. Trevor's left me.
Don't believe it.
If you think their pregnant friend's love troubles would be the crux of the story, think again. Meanwhile, Cummings still seems neck deep in pre-production while he's actually shooting his film.
So what I want to do with this documentary is show the real Spice Girls. You know, I want to break through the showbiz facade. I want to crash right through it.
All these things are happening at once in the scene, and none of it really flows. And then dream sequence.
Wait till you lot start having kids. That'd be really weird. Oh. I want to be a singer. I said, listen, lads, go to college, get yourself a proper job. Does he listen? No.
I like to say that this is the only dream sequence in the film, but I'd be lying. They all worked that well, too. Hilarious? The best thing about writing about Spice World is that there's a lot of music, so we can just go ahead and take care of that. Go and fast forward a little bit. And okay. The final plot line is the paparazzi who are out to get the Spice Girls. They want to destroy them at all cost. So they hatch a plan to get a picture of them doing something super embarrassing. And then it rains in the office because the boss gets mad.
Who is going to help me take on girl power and bring it crashing and whimpering to the ground?
I'll find someone, Kevin. I just wish you wouldn't get so upset.
There's a lot of surrealist aspects to Spice World. It's just another one of its things. It's truly throwing pasta at the wall during its running time. And then there's this weird interstitial.
Now hear this. It is dangerous to store moisturizing cream in the refrigerator as it can be mistaken for mayonnaise.
I guess that's supposed to be hilarious. And then the girls play chess, but Mel doesn't understand the rules, and then the writer pitches a really dumb idea for a Spice Girls movie.
The girls play 5 sisters whose parents disappeared during the January Harrods sale and were never seen again.
As if ripped from today's headlines.
I think now is as good a time as any to mention that the story for the film is credited to an idea by the Spice Girls and the eventual screenwriter Kim Fuller. If anything about this film rings true so far, it's that it's not one unifying idea. It's a lot of ideas, and they used all of them. And then Emma has a short-lived but powerful existential crisis about her branding.
I'm always going to be seen as Baby Spice, you know, the sweet and innocent one. Even when I'm 30.
Uh-huh, go on.
Really, Emma? You play up to it all the time.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You're doing it now.
I'm not.
She does. I mean, I'm not complaining. This leads to an entire conversation about how they feel stereotyped by the names that they gave themselves. Now you may ask, does this conversation lead to a film of them trying to break out of those stereotypes? They realize they're all a bit ginger, a bit sporty, a bit scary, a bit posh, and a bit baby-ish? The answer is no. The one time I want a film to blatantly rip off John Hughes and they don't do it. It does lead to a sequence where they try new personas, including each other's. But that's just as superficial as being sporty or baby-ish, so they've learned absolutely nothing. And then the paparazzi hire a sneaky photographer to take pictures of the Spice Girls. And then the girls go to a gathering where Cumming can't get in because he's not on the list.
I'm with the Spice Girls.
Name's not down, not coming in. Before you said I'd recognise you.
He's making the worst documentary ever. He gets in once the pregnant friend arrives and has extra passes.
I was thinking one of you could be godmother to the baby. Wow. But then I thought, well, I love you all and you're all my best mates and I want you all to be godmothers.
Hang on a minute. Do godmothers get stretch marks?
No.
Okay, we're starting to border on the whimsical conversation of the Beatles films a bit. It's short-lived though, as the girls have to go get more pictures taken and have another press conference.
How are relationships molded in this strange, kaleidoscopic world?
I wish he would white balance his freaking camera. Finally, he gets to ask the girls some questions, but from afar.
Do you have any time for boys?
Boys. Doesn't ring a bell.
You should be able to just wheel them in, and then they're there, and then that's it.
Really?
Yeah, and order them like a pizza.
Oh, pizza? Do you like pizza? I like pizza. Let's have some pizza.
But you do like boys, don't you, Jerry?
Come on, is the Pope a Catholic?
Apparently he is, yes.
We asked the Bishop of Candleford what he thought of the report.
It's a terrible suggestion. Of course the Pope's a Catholic, otherwise he wouldn't have been invited to become Pope, would he?
Okay, this is kind of funny. I mean, it's not hilarious. I'm not bent over in laughter, but it's a knowing chuckle.
When the rabbit of chaos is pursued by the ferret of disorder through the fields of anarchy, it is time to hang your pants on the hook of darkness.
Yep. I really hope Roger Moore got paid really well for his day's work. And then the girls fly to Milan, where they get some surprising backup help. Well, we can't say this movie doesn't have balls. There's a fight between the girls' manager and the concert promoter. A compromise is struck, and it's somehow 50 times worse.
We agreed on a compromise. That's the compromise.
Now that's a cheeky performance, huh? Where's my puns graphic? It would be something if anyone reacts to this, but it doesn't really bother anyone. A part of me wonders what this film would be able to do with the sequence if it weren't so hard bent on being PG. How far could they take it if the film were rated PG-13? We'll never know. And then the girls fly back to London, and then a truly bizarre series of events. Let's break this down, shall we? They stop the bus because they all 5 have to pee really bad. So the girls head to the woods to do their business.
I don't understand how all the toilets can break down at the same time.
Because it's a premise, and this movie loves premises.
Isn't there something that you can do about them? Like what? Fix them!
Listen,
Oh boy.
I love these girls,
No, no.
and I'll do anything for them.
Please don't.
But I won't do that.
Just play the slide whistle. And then while in the woods, the girls meet some aliens, and then the manager informs them that they have to work in the morning and not see to their friend's pregnancy. Therefore, they go to boot camp to learn some new dance moves. Finally, a therefore. Wait a second, let me roll back the prompter here for a second. Play the slide whistle, and then while in the woods, the girls meet some aliens. Does that actually happen in the movie? That can't be real.
Oh, get off! No, you've done it now.
Jerry, go and say something to us.
Come on, say something.
Good, Jerry. What do you want with us?
They meet aliens. Okay, so dance camp. It's a sequence that's fun, I mean, there hasn't been a lot of fun in this movie. It's mostly been them complaining about fame and half-hearted attempts at comedy. So it's the first part of the film that aims at being more like the Beatles movies it truly wants to be. I mean, it ends up more in Monkees territory, but credit for trying. The girls share their fear of the big upcoming concert to each other. The conversation is overheard by our sneaky photographer, which leads to more headlines. The girls seem completely unfazed that someone heard their private conversation, but it makes their manager overact amazingly.
Look at that! Look at that! More stories! More evil harpoons from the press!
That is some gold star overacting right there. Our screenwriters have a new idea.
A Royal Air Force stealth bomber is hijacked by a group of extraterrestrial terrorists.
Hard pass. Moving on. Actually, wait. Do the girls form a clan of super agents?
He has to call in the Spice Force 5.
Is it possible to see the idea for the film idealized in a dream sequence? Maybe a fight scene? Maybe starring Emma? Greenlit. How much money do you need? I have like $5. The filmmakers think of Jerry as the master of disguise, having her turn into Bob Hoskins.
Girl power, equalization between the sexes.
Rest in peace, sir. I hope you got paid well for this. And then the girls invite some fans into the bus to hang out, and then they decide to go boating.
Quick, there's an aquatic adventure happening here!
This leads to a song, speed, and several members of the cast being thrown from the boat, much to the happiness of the paparazzi who revel in making the girls look bad. Their manager is truly angry this time because the big show is tomorrow and the girls are risking it all with their escapades. The girls are at an impasse, angry that their manager is angry and tired of being part of the entertainment machine. So they all go their separate ways, leaving the show and the future of the group up in the air. This is genuine drama. I didn't expect that. While doing their own thing, the girls all dream of the life they used to have, when they were just 5 friends with a song and a dream. That leads to another therefore. They all wander to that diner, now boarded up, and realize that their friendship should overcome whatever machinery they are now a part of. It's a heartwarming sequence. It's a good therefore. I mean, it's all BS. Let's just shoot straight here. The Spice Girls were never 5 friends in a dream. This is a group that wasn't formed as much as they were curated. They're just as much part of the machine as their manager and the people that market them. This entire sequence rings false if you know anything about the group. The girls decide to have a fun night out on the town with their pregnant friend who, you guessed it, decides to have her baby.
That's it, push! I am pushing!
Are you sure she should be pushing?
Well, what else is she gonna do?
If I push anymore, I'll turn myself inside out!
Oh, the sequence would be a lot better in a PG-13 movie. The girls decide to wait in the waiting room and they're asked to talk to a boy who's in a bit of a coma. He wakes up. It's weird. Lots of talk of friendship. The friend has her baby.
Now that is girl power.
There's no sign of Trevor, stupid Trevor. The girls run into the photographer and it's revealed to us that this movie has been the pitch from the screenwriters the entire time.
He's been living a meaningless lie.
Oh, do you know what, girls? You've made me realize I've been living a meaningless lie.
There isn't a dry seat in the house.
I'm wet already.
Wait, what? The screenwriter envisions an elaborate race to the theater for the big show, which includes action, adventure, a bomb, and...
The road is rising right in front of them to let a boat through. They can't believe it!
Oh my god, I don't believe it!
Crazy enough to try and jump the gap?
Hold on to your knickers, girls!
Up it goes! A 5-ton London bus sailing through the air at 70 miles an hour. It's incredible!
It's expensive.
Not necessarily.
Okay, movie, that was funny. This final sequence is manic and crazy and entertaining. I wish the entire film was this carefree. The girls get to the theater just in time to debut their new song. And you do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about, right arm. Everyone dances and things are just fine. The end. I mean, there's a ton of unresolved issues in the group, but it's not like Jerry's gonna just pack up and go work for the UN or something. So does Spice World suck? I guess that all depends on who you are. Did you see the film when it came out because you were of the right age to be a fan? You probably have fond memories of the film, but I don't think you can just cold pick up Spice World now and have the same good impression. It doesn't teach you anything of depth about the girls, and it certainly won't cultivate any new fans. I was of age when the Spice Girls were at the height of their popularity, so I remember them, but even then, this film is super uneven and too overstuffed to work as a movie. I think it's one of those films that hit at the right time for the right crowd, but it doesn't really work that well today. I don't think anyone is clamoring to watch Spice World out of anything but nostalgia. It made a ton of money and it made their fans happy. Who am I to crap on that? I didn't hate it. I mean, it had Emma.
I wanna know what love is.
It was okay. Thanks, Kate. And that's all for this episode. My social media is listed in the description below, and you can check out another review right over there. And tune in next time when we ask the question, does this movie suck? Thanks for watching.
Is it?